Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome back to part 13 of this Williams resurrection career on Motorsport Manager. Last time out, if you tuned in to the last race in Russia, it was Sirotkin's home Grand Prix. He was on for a points finish, but somehow, mainly due to my own negligence of the pit crew and not resting some tired members, I think pretty much everyone was tired during the last race from the pit crew. He was doing really well. We were on for a points finish. He came into the pits ready to finish the race on a fresh set of medium tyres. Somehow he exited the pits on 3 medium tyres and 1 super soft tyres. An absolute shambolic mistake. Just totally messed up our race. That front right tyre, that one that had gone to a super soft, wore away. Sirotkin couldn't push the car and we just couldn't make the strategy that we'd gone for work. He ended up losing something like 20 seconds. He should have been up here around the place that Roman Grosjean was at the end of the race. Didn't work out for us, but hey ho, that's the way it goes sometimes. During the last episode, I did put the auto manage option on the pit crew. I've wrestled that back. I am going to just keep a better eye. I've got to note it down that I've got to rest the pit crew after a race or between races, just to have a look and see what's there. We haven't lost too much time. We're at about 2.31 seconds. We can actually go quicker than that. So I don't think we've actually lost too much time, maybe about 2/10, because a lot of the pit crew that we had, the best pit crew that we had, I'm guessing if you let them get too tired, their stamina goes too far down. They just totally walk away from the team. Even though they're contracted to their team, they get too tired, they can just walk away from the team somehow. Anyway, in terms of car development, we're working on a new set of brakes that are going to go into next year's car. Hopefully, by the end of the season, I'm going to get another suspension built. I'm working on the brakes, another brake build done, and there is a lot of potential to upgrade the engine even more. So maybe 2 new engine builds done, and if I get time, maybe work on a gearbox. The rear wing is the worst part of the car going into the next season. I'm guessing that's going to be my main focus at the start of the next season. Obviously, at the front part of the season, I am allowed to do aero parts going by my own rules, so the front and rear wing can wait till then, because I'm sort of running out of time before the end of the season. There's only 63 days now to the end, until we reach the oval at Phoenix, and then there's about a week after that, so we've got about 70 days until the end of the season. And to get all the work done on the performance that we need, we're sort of running low on time, so we're just going to see what we can get done before then. But we're at the Yokohama Grand Prix. Sirotkin 13th in the driver's standings, Kubica 9th. We are currently 6th overall. If we can get past Force India, that would be great, and then we'll have the same finish as the Williams teams had the last 2 seasons. If we can manage that somehow with the car that we've got, with the drivers that we've got who are rated 9th overall, our car rated 9th overall, the AI difficulty set rather high, if we can achieve that 5th place, that would be absolutely brilliant for us. I'm not sure how much difference there is in the prize money, but if that knocks us up to maybe 58 million or so, that would be even better, because the car this season is possibly going to cost about 50 million. If we go and look at Mercedes, with the Mercedes engine, Petronas as the fuel supplier, Mercedes as the chassis material, and Pirelli as a brake supplier, just under £50 million. So we're going to be getting that prize money, and we've got this, so we might be even able to work on a couple more HQ additions next season. But anyway, and we'll have the new sponsorship money as well. So we'll just set everything up as we normally do, 8-4-3. As you know, we skip over qualifying, so we'll be back in a second to go through qualifying, because we've added qualifying. If you didn't know, we've added qualifying to this video. So, practice over. Kubica a little bit quicker than Stroll. We're 12th and 14th in practice, although practice results have no real sort of effect on what is going to happen during qualifying. Also, we've got wet qualifying here as well. Wet for the first part of the session. There's going to be a dry session in between. We're not going to hit that dry session, just because I know the AI won't hit that dry session either. So we've got no choice but to go for soft and qualifying. We're just going to follow the AI cars out of the pits as we normally do. Pretty good job on the setups. We sort of got there. We did 7 laps on the softs of 104.9, 12 laps on the medium, although a lot more. This was a 12-lap run, although we didn't get a chance to complete it. So about 3 temps between those, although obviously as the soft would have ramped up, as we'd have gone down although the tyres would have started to wear away as well to sort of go against that. The only thing I've noticed is running Stroll in practice to try and get his pay driver bonus is that it sort of leaves Sorokin at a disadvantage because he doesn't get her form boost, although his form is excellent at the moment, carrying over from the last race. So we're just going to follow the other cars out of the pits for our first qualifying run. We could have come straight out of the pits and got there as quick as we could whilst the track was at its sort of driest point as the rain starts to come. We're not going to try to do that, although we still have got out pretty much ahead, so we're going to be pretty high up after the first run in qualifying. I'm not going to send the cars out. Around 15 minutes I could send our cars out to try and game the system sort of and get out around that 15-minute point and be really high up the order. I'm not going to do that because that's sort of gaming the system. If the AI car comes out, the AI cars come out around that time, we will obviously do the same. I might even try follow the other AI cars out, like the Force India and stuff, because they're going to send their cars out for that second run and they're the ones we're competing with. So if we sort of follow their strategy of going straight back out onto another set of tyres, if they go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, we've got Sorokin 11th out qualifying Kubica. I'm guessing that's just because he was a little bit further ahead on the track because we sent Sorokin out first. If we see, and there we see, look, Force India, although the track's too wet to even risk that. I don't know why some of the AI just can't work around the rain in qualifying. Hopefully if there is a Motorsport Manager 2, that is something that PlaySport will work on, but I'm not going to send them out. They've got no advantage, Force India, from running that. There is a little gap at the end of the session where a dry tyre might work, but we're just going to have to see what the other AI cars do coming out of the pits for that session. Obviously that's going to leave, gives Kubica a little bit of a chance to improve his time as well. So things could still go well for us at the end of the session without gaming the system. Obviously Force India and the teams like that who are out on track at the moment, Haas, Sauber, Toro Rosso, all out on the track, they're not going to come back out at the end of the session for some reason. Who knows why the AI is doing that for them? Don't know, but we'll be back at the end of the session and we'll go through our last qualifying lap to see if we can pick up any more places. So we're getting ready for this final qualifying lap. We should start seeing the top 5 order cars coming out of the pits very soon, and there they go. So we're going to come out as well. If they come out on, they've all come out on Inters, although the track's dry. I hate gaming the system. We could come out on a soft, on dry compound tyres. None of the AIs come out on dry compound, so we're just going to follow them. We could come out on a dry compound tyre and maybe end up somehow with a pole here, but that would be gaming the system. So we're going to follow the AI cars. Don't want to game the system and gain any sort of advantage through qualifying. We want this to be a true reflection of our cars working. Obviously we're on a little bit of a drier track this time around, and these Inters won't suit the track at all, so we're going to be a lot slower here, so no one's going to really pick up any sort of advantage or any more places. So we're going to finish 11th and 18th overall then. I wish some of those AI cars, I don't know why they wouldn't come out on the softs, because this track was certainly drying up. When they came out on those Inters, the track was right on the crossover for the Inters and dry tyre compounds. The AI in qualifying just doesn't work, but we'll work around it by just following what the AI does. It is 37 laps here at Yokohama, so I'll just stick that even now. I don't know what sort of strategy we're going to go for here. We can go a long time on these hard tyres. It is going to be a 2-stop race, because if you follow my video before, I know I say this every time, but just like real Formula 1, I do have to use 2 different compounds during the race. So I could do this by making these hard tyres last and do a 1-stop, but we're going to go hard. 31, could easily do it. So should we start on the soft with Kubica and do what we normally do? We'll blast through the soft tyres, the one that sort of worked well for Sorokin in the last race. Since he's far down the order, Kubica, if we come out on this soft tyre and blast through it, we could then go hard if we wanted to and push through those tyres like we did in the last race with Sorokin, or even go soft, medium and hard and be able to get through just like that. So that is what we're going to be doing with Kubica. So we'll keep him on the hard tyre that we've got. We set for him. Meanwhile, we're outside the top 10, so the soft tyre is probably the wrong choice, although I'm guessing a lot of the AI cars are going to go for the soft tyre as well. But we'll go on the middle compound tyre, we'll go for the medium. It can do 13 laps, and then maybe do the middle stint on the softs for Sorokin and then finish on the hards, just so we know we can get towards the end of the race on the hard tyre without it wearing away, because they can obviously go down to 0%. So we're going to be on the hard tyre the longest, but we do want the medium boost at the start to make sure we get a good start. So we'll go for the medium tyre performance increase. Hopefully that is the right choice there. The weather is pretty hot, so we're going to have to look after these tyres as well with the weather the way it is. So we're only going to be able to go in push mode for maybe a lap. But anyway, we've got Vettel on pole, Hamilton second as usual, Kimi Räikkönen third, Fernando Alonso fourth, Ocon fifth for the Force India, even on a, bet he's got a dodgy neck, yes he has. Daniel Ricciardo in sixth, so amazing performance there, although the order is going to be thrown up a little bit due to the way the rain worked at the beginning of that qualifying session. We've got Haas in 7th, Sergio Perez in 8th, we've got Valtteri in 9th, Charles in 10th, Sergey in 11th, as we knew, a good performance from him. Van Dorn 12th, Magnussen 13th, Max all the way down in 14th, Hulkenberg 15th, Ericsson 16th, Carlos Sainz 17th, Kubica 18th, and both Toro Rosso boys, Hartley and Gasly, bringing up the rear, starting on the hard tyre. So what is everyone going for around us? Where Sorokin is medium, they're going for the hard behind us. Max is starting on the softs. Yeah, so it seems to be being the right call with Sorokin there. So hopefully we can get a decent start. We'll focus on Sorokin here, but we'll sort of angle the camera so we can look at Kubica at the same time. Kubica's off the line slowly. Sorokin, not too bad, but some cars go down the outside of him. Sorokin's already back to 13th. Got the Renaults up the outside of him, and who's that running wide? That is Kevin Magnussen, who's run wide on the first corner. Sorokin now up into 10th place. That is Daniel Ricciardo that he's managed to get past. He managed to get past Danny Rick, although Van Dorn storming down the outside, but loses a little bit of time. So Sorokin moves himself up into 10th place. Everyone already going into low mode on all of these tyres. A few of these guys on the soft tyres already in low mode. Kubica struggling though on the soft tyre right at the back. So he's going to go... We'll keep him in push mode for a little bit. Overtake mode will be a little bit too extreme with the way the temperatures are out on track at the moment. But everyone might be starting to turn down. I think we've got enough life in this tyre, so we'll sort of watch for it getting above there before we start turning it up. But Sorokin's starting to move turn it down, I mean. Sorokin's starting to lose a few places in the opening few laps. Kubica not making anything stick around here. Kubica not performing to his usual ability over the last few races, even though his form has improved on the start. But Sorokin, 10 form again. He's been in absolute storming form recently over the last couple of races. 12th place, managing to hold off Max Verstappen. As we've seen from Sorokin, he's done some real good jobs of defensive driving as he tries to go up the outside of Hulkenberg. Max trying to make this overtake. He should be able to make that stick, but he can't. Red Bull stays behind for the moment, but then manages to get past. So Sorokin down to 13th place now, and we're going to look after these tyres. We're going to keep pushing with Kubica, and in fact we're going to go full on and see if we can move him up the order, because we want to get these soft tyres out of the way as quick as we can. We'll just get him moving up the order, because we can pit early. It should be a... Oh, we've got rain coming right at the end. Right at the end of the session for that last stint from lap 28. So that is something we might need to aim for. So to get to that point, I think we're a little bit past that now, aren't we? We would need to make these do about 10 laps and stretch a hard compound tyre as far as we can to the end of the race. Yeah, so we're going to have to dial back a little bit now, going into backup mode with these. We want to sort of hit that target of lap 28 or further on to get on to a wet tyre to finish a race on. Is that rain going to last? Yeah, so we're switching up strategies now a little bit with Kubica. He's going to have to look after that tyre, try and cool that tyre back down, whereas we're going to run in conserve mode maybe with Sorokin a little bit, get these tyres cooled down just a little bit. But as we see, the rain coming, it's not going to be that much rain. It doesn't look like you could still run on a dry tyre compound, but it might be best to try and just look up to see if we can get... we're just running our strategy at the moment, Sergey. We can't get you past Hulkenberg. Oh, it's frustrating, but we can't do anything at the moment. So Kubica, with that little bit of push, he managed to make himself move up the order to 16th place. Sorokin, meanwhile, has dropped back to 14th, having been in 10th at one point during this Grand Prix. Just try to figure it out. This rain is not going to get that heavy, though. That rain is not going to get that heavy, but it might still be best to be on an intermediate tyre. If you look at the crossover, there's not going to be much time difference between a dry tyre compound and a wet tyre and an intermediate compound. But if we can get onto the intermediate, then it might give us some sort of slight advantage towards the end of the race. Possibly not much. Kubica's now back into optimal tyre temperatures. Sorokin is as well, so we'll get him up to neutral. Sorokin battling. Kubica's got himself up to 15th as well. He's currently behind Sergey, so Kubica doing pretty well, although he's on a softer tyre compound, so we would expect him to be quicker than his teammate. So we're just going to let him race. We know Kubica's faster. It's going to mess up his race a little bit. Sergey, come on, Robert, get past him. Do it on your own doing. There we go. He gets past him. I don't really want to order him to let him pass because Sergey would lose too much time if we did that. Holding up Kubica a little bit, but Sorokin's sort of moving down the order now. He's going to let Carlos Sainz past him in a little bit, I would guess. And this should be Kubica's last lap before he has to get off the soft compound. And he's going to come in for this hard tyre. So he did sort of get to about the time where we wanted to, around lap 10. He did pretty well making that soft tyre last to the point we wanted to after pushing it so long in the early going. So as you can see, we don't have much chance of a mistake, although a lot of them are over 1% at the moment. So there is still a little bit of a chance of a mistake, although a balanced pit stop even, should do us for this pit stop here. And these mediums still coming along, so I knew this track doesn't suit us at all because the strongest part of our car, the engine, is not a factor on this track at all. As you can see, this Japanese track, a lot of windy corners. Our suspension, our Aero, the gearbox as well for acceleration off these corners, not as good as the rest of the field. And we're going to see Kubica come into the pits here. Hopefully we can get a decent pit stop done, get onto this hard tyre. Do not make a mistake. And there we go, he's in and out. We can't really push any on these tyres as well, the weather being the way it is, how hot it is. You need these tyres to get through to that point where the rain comes at the end of the session. But as you can see, as I said, there's not much rain due. But we might as well try and get that far to get onto the inters. See if it does give us any sort of advantage, even if it's half a second advantage at that point of the Grand Prix. Is that worth it? We're out on fresher compound tyres now, so we should be a lot quicker than a lot of the other cars around us. But as we see a couple of others, we've got a Force India and a Haas. Ocon dropped down the order here, coming and doing their pit stops as well. I think they were a lot further up the road than us when we came into the pits. Kubica was 15th when he came into the pits. Sergey's moved up to 11th. He's managed to get, has he got past a few cars, or is that just everyone that's been in the pits? I think it's just everyone here, because Raikkonen came into the pits as well. We're getting a lot of the front order who were on the soft tyres into the pits as well. These mediums can get down to 10% before we need to change them. We'll just try and go as far as we can, and then we can push on the hard tyres with Sorokin a little bit once he comes into the pit. So maybe we should just go another lap, or can we get another 2 laps out of this tyre? Just in neutral, I think we can get another 2 laps out of this tyre. So here we go with Sorokin up in 7th place at the moment. Maybe it's not the right decision, because a lot of these are probably going a lot quicker than us at the moment. 108s. Has anyone done a lap yet? We haven't seen anyone actually do a lap yet on these new tyres that everyone's got on. Kubica's doing a 107, so Kubica's about a second quicker at the moment, so we need to get in for this hard tyre, don't we? Because we're losing about a second a lap on these medium tyres now. So we're going to switch it up because we know we can get these to the rain, just so we don't let any of these other cars undercut us that were sort of around us, and maybe we can get the undercut on someone like Brendan Hartley, who had been stuck behind for a while, because Hartley's going to stay out. So we're going to go for the undercut here, just because all these other cars pitted as well, and the undercut worked well for Kubica there. As we see, that undercut worked well for him, but Sorokin on the quicker tyres now might be able to make up that distance. It's a little bit, 4 seconds, 3 seconds even, is a little bit too much to ask to make up here. I don't think we really need to start recovering the fuel yet, but 18th and 19th, a lot of other cars pitting. This track, just not a good track for us, the way the car's set up at the moment. Just really struggling. We've got Leclerc in front of us, so he's going to make another pit stop before the rain comes. What are his sort of lap times going to be like? Can't even speak today. What's up with me? Oh, Raikkonen. Raikkonen has retired. Raikkonen's out of the race. Mechanical issue. I don't know what's gone wrong for the Ferrari there. We're going to see what Leclerc comes across the line in. Has he been out yet? A 106. So those soft tyres, about a second quicker, but he's going to have to pit again before the rain, and then maybe pit again. It depends what tyres he's got left in his locker in the garage. So Sorokin's now up in the 107s. If we'd left him out, he'd have been another 2 seconds behind, so it was the right decision to get him there. Maybe we could have got him in a bit earlier, wouldn't have lost that extra second, but he seems to be a long way behind. But we've got some cars in the pit. Has this worked out for Sorokin now? Can he get past Hartley? No, he's still behind. Oh, he did. He just got past him. It undercut. Just working out there for Sorokin, although Hartley should be strong. He's gone onto a soft tyre, so Sorokin doing a 3-stop maybe as well, or a 2-stop. He's going to be on the wrong compound for the end of the race, although as we know the intermediates might not give us that much advantage. So there we go, Hartley managed to get back past because he's on the soft tyre. Running a different strategy to us. We're going to start recovering some fuel with Kubica, can we? What's he like for times around him? Oh, he's got Ericsson. No, he's gone past. Yes, he's got cars either side of him, so we can afford to start recovering some fuel now. Sorokin, I don't think we're going to catch Hartley. We've got Science behind us on a quicker compound as well. He's going to have to pit before the rain, I would guess, as well. Or maybe not. Maybe he can get there. So what's Science doing? He's going like that. So we'll go back. We'll try to start recovering some fuel for Sorokin as well, just whilst we're in this little lull in the middle of the Grand Prix. I'll speed things up. Kubica's 12th, Sorokin 15th. Science has managed to get past him. We've got Van Dorn coming on quicker tyres. Obviously they need to pit off of that soft tyre, possibly before the rain comes. It's all dependent on what this rain does at the end of the race for us. If we can get through to that point and whether the intermediates start working with the level of rain that's coming. I don't think it is, but Kubica's 11th. We've seen Hulkenberg make his second pit onto another pair of soft tyres, so he's going to have to pit again. So Kubica suddenly has been thrust into a position where points could be on the table if this strategy works out for us, because Leclerc is going to have to pit again soon. So if we just hang on here and we go high mode as well again, and we get pushing again towards the pit stops, try and keep up our times. Currently still in the mid 107s. Leclerc's times have totally dropped off on this soft tyre. Is he coming to the pits? No, he's staying out for another lap, so he's really going to drop some time here as well. If Leclerc is going to give us a good chance of catching up to him. It's just a little bit further down the road. I'm guessing he is open for a pit stop this time. Everyone else in the mid 107s, low 107s, a 105 from Van Dorn. Quickest car on the track at the moment, the McLaren of Van Dorn. I'm guessing we're going to see Leclerc come in. We're about 3 seconds behind him. We're just going to slowly catch him. And there, Leclerc comes into the pits. What is he going to come back out of the pits on? He's one of the ones we need to beat to get into the pits. He's come out on another soft tyre, so he's going to have to stop again before the end of the race. A 3-stop strategy from the Sauber team when they were up in the points. I'm guessing they don't have any hard tyres left. Maybe they didn't bring any hard tyres for the weekend. Maybe they brought just one pair and they used it in practice for some reason. But we're not complaining. We're just going to push here. We're in 10th place. We've got Hartley behind who has to pit as well. Hopefully the Toro Rossos themselves are going to go for another soft tyre. We can easily make our tyres stretch out now till the rain comes. So we can go in attack mode as well with Sorokin a little bit. Kubica is just going to hang on. Hartley's going to come in before the rain comes as well. We're going to watch Hartley. Hopefully he's going to make a... hopefully Toro Rosso haven't brought the tyres with them as well. And we've seen cars coming out on the Inters early. They're going to try stretch. Is Hartley going to come out on the Inters early as well? That would be a good for us. Come on, what are you going to come out of the pits on? You've gone for an Inter. Gasly's gone for an Inter. So this is going to work out swimmingly for us, stretching out this strategy. So we can push now. We can get these hard tyres down to 0. I think even because the tyres aren't that hot, maybe we can go overtake mode as well. And the rain's starting, although this lap is not a lap where Inters would take effect. So we're going to go around once more. Kubica's going to get into the pits for his intermediate tyre. We're going to go balance. We're just going to keep an eye on the rain because Sorokin can go a little bit quicker. Well, not a little bit quicker, but he can go an extra lap here. If these tyres hold up for an extra lap that we can push on. currently up on the last lap. So who's behind us at the moment? Verstappen seems to be lapping pretty quick on these intermediate tyres, although he's pushing all out the same as we are. So are we going to line up? We might as well get him in, aren't we? Just in case. We don't want to risk losing any time. Possibly wouldn't lose us any time, but there's not many laps left in this Grand Prix, and we can push all out on these tyres for a little bit. Although we've got to watch the fuel. We need to start recovering after this lap so we can do one lap out in full-on overtake and attack mode. Well, not overtake, but in high mode. So let's just see what sort of places we can pick up here. Kubica should still be in the points when these other teams start to make their pit stops. Are we going to be able to get past here? They're going to start filing out of the pits. We go into 9th place. 9th place here, and we don't really need to. We don't want them getting too hot, but we don't want them getting overly hot. You can afford to let them get hot, but not overly hot, if you get what I'm saying. Sorokin is in 13th. Everyone is now out onto the intermediate tyres. So that worked out pretty well for us, extending that hard tyre out. We managed to do it, as did a lot of the other teams, but they came in for the Inters a little bit early, which has thrust us back into contention of sort of catching Roman Grosjean, although I don't think we can do this Haas car a lot quicker than us. What's he lapping at? 1.3. He's extending that gap. He's Roman Grosjean. He's pushing all out on these tyres as well. We're going to save our tyres. Once they start turning down, we're going to go into high mode. So if we just conserve for a little bit, maybe we can conserve for about 2 laps. And then we're going to reverse fortunes on these cars ahead of us and go in push mode. So we don't want them wearing out. I'm not sure what the Inters can get to, whether they work the same as the middle compound tyre and they can get down to 10%. So let's go attack mode, let's risk it. We've got nothing to lose with Sorokin as it is, so we can push him. We are a little bit low on fuel with Kubica. What's Sorokin telling us? What did he tell us? Did he say anything? No? Don't know what he was. I think he was just telling us that his tyres have got a little bit hot. Kubica, meanwhile, then, let's see if we can close this gap back up to Grosjean, who has now turned his tyres down 3.5. No, we're still dropping behind Roman Grosjean. He's still lapping quicker than us. That is strange. I'm guessing maybe because our tyres, or is it because of the car? Roman Grosjean did that last lap in a 1:06. We're a lot slower here. Although we're starting to come back now, are we? We're starting to come back a little bit. All these tyres wearing away though, so I'm going to have to cool them down. And we might have to watch the tyres with Sorokin as well. Although nothing to lose at all with Sorokin. I'll just keep him pushing. But there's nothing much to gain, so we might as well keep him in 13th place, just so it pushes us up a little bit higher, just in case we finish outside the points. And there we go, the Force Indy gets past us, Kubica past us. A big gap back to Sainz now, so we should be able to hang on to this place until the end of the race. I don't think we're going to have to go in low mode for the fuel with Kubica. So 10th and 13th, if we can keep these positions, wouldn't be too bad of a result, considering where I thought we might be at the start of the race, with this track just not suiting us at all. The strategy has sort of worked out for us, and some pretty good drives as well. Sorokin currently about 10 seconds in front of his teammate. Possibly will be there by the end of the race. We can go back in neutral as well. Now these tyres are cooled down. High mode for Sorokin. I don't think we've got much chance of catching Perez in front. He's in low mode, so should we try go for it? I don't think Sainz can catch us, even if these tyres fade away on the last lap. So let's go attack. Attack? No. Nothing again with Sorokin. But we do have a place we can get here with Kubica. If he can come back on this last lap, if we can get past Perez, and we do, can we make this stick now? If we go high mode, medium, no, he's going to get back past us. Can we push a little bit as well on the fuel? Come on, Kubica, make it 9th. We want that 2 points instead of that 1 point. No, Perez is going to start getting away now. Our tyres are almost hitting the wall. It looks like it's gone away. Sainz catching us. Sainz is catching us. So we're going to... No, he's not. Just want to look after these tyres. Only a few corners left now. So we almost had it stick. And there we go. Coming across the line. 10th place. Not a bad result. Sorokin, no other real cars around him. All the other cars up to 15th must have been lapped because they've already finished. Sorokin comes across the line in 13th. Not a bad result for him either. So, not too bad of a race there. At least we got a point. Force India, though, scored more points. Both cars in the points, so that sort of puts us behind them even more now. And I'm guessing that is it for our hopes of gaining 5th place by the end of the season, unless we have some sort of miraculous result. Roman Grosjean, driver, has been demoted 6 places. That move Kubica up to 9th, although obviously it just moves one of the Force India cars up. Although it does give Force India more of a gap than us, because Perez would have had 1 point more than us. Now he has 2 points more than us, so it extends Force India's advantage. So it's not something we actually wanted, Grosjean being knocked down the order. So we're now 21 points behind. Haas shouldn't be able to catch us before the end of the season. 21 points to pick up. It's almost undoable. 4 races left, unless we have, as I said, just some sort of miraculous finish in one of the races that we've got coming up. And you never know, we might do well at the Oval at the end of the season with having one of the better engines. I'm not sure. I'll just have a quick look at that. In regards to that's GP3, I want to have a quick look at F2, just see who's winning. I haven't actually checked in with F2. Dam's actually winning in the constructors standings at the moment. We're winning for a long time, but Alexander Albon and Nicolas Latifi winning now. Have managed to pull themselves up. Jackie Aitken and George Russell have sort of fallen away as the season's gone on. So we could be seeing the Dam's car and Alexander Albon and Nicolas Latifi next season in Formula 1. Obviously, they would then be favourites for relegation. But you never know. Robert Kubica has claimed that he'll seem to be holding the team back. We'll just say he needs to button it, because it never seems to make him unhappy. Pit crew review, we did 2.3 seconds, which is not too bad. Obviously, it's a lot slower than we've been this season. We'll just remove the fatigue crew, and then I can set it up. Have we got anyone here? A 19. We just need to refill the squad back up for the pit crew. We're alright for front jack people, 19 and a 20. Although he's pretty good at tyres as well, so he would make a decent backup. Fixing, Anik is good at fixing as well. I'm not too bothered about fixing the car at the moment, but we might need someone who can fix the car. Oh no, reject. Oh, what am I doing? We'll hire you just in case we don't get another one. I just got rid of the 21. Clicked on the wrong blooming button. But we've got a couple of guys who are good at fixing the car, just in case at the start of the next season the car is not reliable. We don't need to fix it at any point this season. That's why we've got people in with a 9 and a 2. We don't need to fix it before then. But anyway, let's just have a look at Phoenix. Yeah, top speed is crucial, although the rear wing's crucial as well. But top speed crucial, so we might do alright at the last race of the season on this oval. We've got the first of the 2 American Grand Prix coming up. Top speed crucial there. Rio de Janeiro, top speed crucial. Dubai, top speed crucial. So these are potentially a good couple of races for us, with top speed, the engine being the main thing in these races. So maybe there is a little bit of hope of catching the Force India guys up, because their engine, even though they've got a Mercedes engine as well, obviously you do your own engine upgrades. I like to think of it about, it's sort of the understanding of making that engine work within your car is what we're sort of working on at the moment. Force India 8th, so maybe that's going to give us an advantage over them in the next few races, and we might even be able to make up that 21 points. But anyway, that is it for this episode, part 13. We've got the first of the 2 American Grand Prix coming up, not the oval the first time round, but just the normal track. But anyway, that is it for this episode. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down before. Give this video a like. You can even check out my website, iamfuzzyface.com. Hit me up on Twitter. There's a little symbol up in the top right hand corner, or you can follow the link down below. Any of those will do, or none of those will do if you don't want to. But anyway, until next time, I'll see you down the road in the good old US of A for the Phoenix Grand Prix, and goodbye.